Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this the news bit presented to you by Ladies Like and Jess Sentino. Follow the beat from the studio to the street. Info with the flow keeps you sharp and in the know. Sit back, relax, enjoy the news. Follow. Ethiopian President Haile Mariam Desalegn declared a state of emergency in a televised statement following months of protests against his government, in which at least 500 people have been killed by the government security forces so far.
Since the anti-government protests broke out in November last year, Ethiopian authorities blamed the chaos on political elements in Egypt and Eritrea and accused the two nations of arming, training and financing the rogue militia, who have caused unrest in the regions around the capital Addis Ababa.
Although Eritrea and Ethiopia have historical disputes over their borders, and Egypt and Ethiopia are at loggerheads over sharing the Nile's waters, the protests were initially sparked by the overwhelming demand for their rights, and were later widened to include political, economic and cultural rights.
Protesters from the Oromo and Amara ethnicities, who make up 60% of Ethiopia's population, say that they have been subjected to extreme marginalization.
The citizens of Oromia, whose region is now Ethiopian center of industrialization, have accused the Ethiopian government of seizing their land and offering them very low compensation.
After which it sells the land at inflated prices to foreign investors. This is one of the reasons why multinational factories are targeted by the protesters.
The protesters damaged almost a dozen of foreign-owned flowers and factories, which has consequently affected one of Africa's fastest-growing economies.
However, the October 2nd stampede that claimed lives of dozens of people after the Ethiopian police fired tear gas at a huge crowd attending a religious festival has triggered a new wave of protests and made the dire situation worse,
and compelled the Ethiopian government to impose an emergency law that will last for 6 months.
Entebbe introduced access to internet is no longer a luxury but a necessity. Those are the words of the ICT ministry. Access to information should be free, and getting Ugandans on the internet is a priority. Kampala and Entebbe are the first to go online from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. during the week in Kampala's Central Business District, and from Saturday 3 p.m. up to Monday 6 a.m. so everyone can get online as soon as they can. Most sites will be available, but no downloads and no sites that the government finds unacceptable. But sites like Wikipedia will give people tons of time to learn, to travel the world in just a click of a button. This will lead to more Ugandan websites and more interactions worldwide. And it will also better communication, Twitter, WhatsApp and Facebook, all part of society's information. A detailed hotspot location list will also be shared with the public so everyone can get on the bandwidth. Some have warned against issues of security, where a breach could lead to theft of information and identity. Protection is key connectivity. Crowdfunding is leading to employment and development. Our reporter MC Loy is here with more.
With so many technological advances, Nigerians have been taking chances in both good and bad engagements in an effort to fight unemployment. But unemployment is still on the rise, and Nigerian citizens are paying the price. Now an online platform is using crowdfunding to get promising development projects. Running Impactionate.com is raising funds for business and social entrepreneurs with promising projects that counter unemployment with sustainable development. The platform connects medium to large-scale projects operating in Nigeria to donors in diaspora. Impactionate was founded by a dynamic team of thinkers, engineers, tech heads, entrepreneurs and change makers who decided to explore crowdfunding as a possibility towards sustainable change, giving power to the people. The platform is structured for transparency. It demands projects to give accountability. Each project is thoroughly vetted, and once approved, a campaign is created. Then the public is engaged, and with their hard-earned currency, citizens have a chance to be part of the change they want to see. I'm MC Loy, reporting for Newsbeat.
Thank you, MC Loy, for that report. Thailand's deeply divided population is facing a bleak future after the death of King Bhumibol Adelaidesh, who has been the country's stabilizing denominator. The longest reigning monarch to date was at the helm of 7 decades and died at the age of 88. King Bhumibol took to the throne under tragic circumstances after his brother King Anand Mahindo was mysteriously murdered in his royal premises. And although he immediately assumed authority, he was not officially crowned until May 1950. As the head of Thailand's military and government, politicians and military officers had to be endorsed by King Bhumibol before their appointment. And though he received criticism for endorsing military takeovers amid political turmoil and magical coups he managed to maintain order. The death of King Bamibo has created an environment of uncertainty. Assistant Prince Mahavajira Longhorn was officially appointed in 1972 at the age of 20, does not command his father's respect and popularity. The 64-year-old prince is seen by many as the playboy living lavishly. Furthermore, in August this year, a constitution was written and passed by the military authorities, giving the military power to appoint members of Senate and reduce the power of political parties. This has become a turning point in the politics of Thailand as the monarch weakens and the military junta gains the upper hand. But in the moment, the Thai people are finding it hard to turn a new leaf, and the government has set up a telephone hotline to help people cope with their grief as they mourn their beloved king who led Thailand to modernity and became an integral part of the country's identity. That was the news on the beat. Next week will be another hit. Still ladies like I'm Jay Sentino, reporting live and direct with love and respect. Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.
Yes, follow the beat.
Follow the beat, follow the